Good morning, ladies. It's Carol Lourie, and I am here with my dear friend and colleague, Dr. Cathy Goldstein. And like me, Cathy is an acupuncturist, but unlike me, she is an expert in these phenomenal skin products, and the magic wand, and something else very important, which is the lymphatic magic stone, which you all need to know about, which is why I brought her on. And welcome, Cathy, and share your wisdom with my community who can't wait. They don't know it yet, but they can't wait to meet you.
Yeah. Well, I'm super excited to hopefully impart something new to the group. So because we can always use something that anything that helps, anything that moves us in the right direction to health and prevention.
So you want to start out with this?
Sure. Or I should say recurrence, right?
Well, it's not necessarily about reoccurrence. If a woman has had breast cancer, she's had her nodes looked at. And
Yes.
when you have your nodes looked at, that's quote unquote, you can end up with swelling, lymphedema, or whatever. You've had surgery on your breast. This is a magic stone. I think everybody needs to know about it. And look, you have space here for your hands. So you want to share?
Absolutely. Okay. So
it's right in your hands too.
It is really intuitive, very, very comfortable and intuitive. So let me actually start with, so in my practice, I do a lot of energy medicine. So obviously we both do acupuncture. Acupuncture is energy medicine. Yeah. So what I actually have kind of delved into that's a little bit different is the energy and frequencies and the biophoton highway that I talk about, that leads to being able to really kind of tap in to the perfect vibrational frequency of our acupuncture meridians being at balance. So to kind of redefine that is when we have any kind of symptoms, when we have disease, autoimmune, any type of imbalance, what it's going on is that our meridians and other energy fields are not vibrating at the healthiest frequency. So what's important and why, in the realm of acupuncture, what the acupuncture does is it teaches your body how to function on its own, right? I'm sure you've heard Dr. Carol talk about that quite a bit. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to give people a tool that they could use at home so that they could continue that vibrational frequency of harmony, balance, and give the body the innate ability to do its job, which is to be healthy. Where our body wants to be healthy. It just needs sometimes some help and some information.
Yeah.
Right. So that's kind of how I started in that journey of like, how did what is this little tool here? So what my original, like Carol mentioned, there's a few tools. My original tool was the wand. That was yes, exactly. That was for a lymphatic drainage in the face and a natural facelift system. So yes, so that's
this.
Yes. And then as I moved on, I really wanted to make sure that I was addressing the entire body. And the body needs something a little bit different than the face, but the lymphatic drainage is the key part of that. Because if we have congestion, we have toxins. If we have toxins, we have a huge offensive component in our body that it's constantly trying to manage. So what I did in developing the lymphatic stone was I developed a specific protocol to help open and move and drain the lymphatic system. But more significantly was I imprinted with frequencies that I use in my practice, everything, every inch, every cell dynamic to having a healthy lymphatic system. So it's detoxing, it's taking in nutrients, it's the whole process and the exchange of that inter and extracellular space. A lot of times people, if they're not familiar with the lymphatic system, which I think your group is very familiar with it, what some of the things that we didn't know back in the day when I went to school, and probably when Carol went to school, was that they did not know that the lymphatic system had everything to do with the immune system as well. It is the delivery system of nutrition. So probiotics and things like that are a key component. The other is that nobody really draws the parallel between the vascular system and the lymphatic system. And the truth be told on that is that as complicated as the vascular system is, the lymphatic system is just as complicated because they go together. So everything that the job of the lymphatic system, all the way down to those little capillaries where they exchange, information from an artery to a vein, is where everything happens. And the lymphatic's job is to come in and make sure that we don't have too much spilling. We don't have too many toxins. We manage our, like it is like the management system, right? So if the lymphatic system is congested anywhere in the body, then our systems are completely stressed out because it's constantly trying to manage that.
So back to the beautiful stone. How does the stone help us? So we just got to back up for a second.
Yeah.
But yes, you absolutely need the stone, but also there are functional things that you can do to unclog your lymphatic system. And as acupuncturists, which we both are, we know that stagnation and toxins all contribute to the blockage of the chi, or the energy flowing smoothly in the river of your body.
Right.
So we do, Tai Chi, Qigong, yoga, acupuncture, we clean, we do juice. I mean, we do all of that. It's not just you eat horribly and then you use this and you think you're going to be healthy. It doesn't work like that, right? It's a whole system approach to staying healthy. But here we have this beautiful stone. It feels so good. The energy is wonderful. Everybody needs to get one of these. So go ahead, Cathy.
Yeah. So in like the application of the stone, it had there's, like you said, there's a lot of things that do lymphatic and lymphatic drainage, massage, things like that. This enables us to have a process that moves the lymphatic system that you can use at home every day, because we're exposed to toxins every day. So it's something that needs to be managed every day. And I think that the protocol for that is all comes with that stone. So it deals with the upper body as well as the lower body. And it addresses opening those lymphatic portals so that it has a place to go. Now, if you've ever had your lymphatic system and lymphatic nodes looked at, like we were talking about, this is the interesting thing, I think, about energy and the capability of the body and that energy highway is that I think we underestimate our body's ability to repair and to compensate. What I found is that all of that swelling is reversible, even though people are being told that that's just what you're going to have to deal with. You're just going to have to wear a sleeve. You're just going to have to do lymphatic massages. What I found, it's kind of a funny story too, because the first person that I had this experience with, the swelling in her arm, and she had been wearing a sleeve for 5 years. The swelling in her arm completely went away. And I had been giving her acupuncture and she had been doing the work, and she stopped coming in for acupuncture. And so, I called her, I go, "How are you doing?" And she goes, "Oh, I'm doing great." I go, "How's your arm?" "It's fantastic. I've never had an issue." So I would call her like every 6 weeks and go, "How's your arm? How's your arm?" Because I really wanted to see what the potential was, because I underestimated the possibilities of this stone. And what I found is that over and over and over again, the lymphatic system has an ability to reroute, just like the vascular system does.
Right.
And so it's rerouting and finding pathways that it can compensate with so that it can actually repair. It's amazing, really.
It is. So the stone helps the lymphatic system. It's sort of like takes out debris in the river, so the stagnation goes away. Your body, you want your body to be like this little free flowing river, and then you get a problem and bump, you get trees in there and the water can't flow. But this, acupuncture does this too, but this gets those trees out of the river.
Right.
And then the water just continues to flow. Now, just like, let's talk about this. Do you start hard? Do you start slow? Where do you start? What's
Right.
the direction? You don't go up. You want to go down this way, right?
Actually, so this is the thing is that also I just wanted to say in that I love that the scenario that you just gave, because it is very Chinese medicine and
Yes.
on the flow of energy. The stone actually repairs the walls of the river.
That's
So,
better. I love this.
Right. So essentially what you're doing with the protocol is you're opening any of the areas where there would be lymphatics. So you're opening those areas where there's
okay, let's just, a lot of women don't know where their lymphatics are. So
right. And the nodes
underneath your clavicle, behind the bottom of your ear, right? And then you take your hand, you go all the way down to your clavicle area, right?
Right.
And up here on the top of your chest, you can feel it, right? Even if you've had a mastectomy, you can feel this.
Yes.
And then underneath your armpit.
Yep.
Right?
Right.
And we have them in our groin, but let's just stick to this top part.
Okay. So with the stone and lotion, you'll also get a video where I talk about a lot of the other
yes,
when
you purchase this, so, I know this because I did, and you get this welcome email and you get a video, and it's very comprehensive. And don't think, oh, I'll be fine without watching the video. No, spend the time, learn how to do it right. And Cathy really takes care of you. She knows how to teach people how to use this. So go ahead, honey.
Yeah, absolutely. And I also, I want you to have support, just like you do. This is why you do these, do this process that you do, is because we need support. We need support. It's not like we just download information and, can do everything without support. So yes. So you start with it, with the larger lymphatics. So in the armpit and right in the front right here. And what we're doing first is we're using the stone to open those lymphatics going in a clockwise direction. Right, clockwise direction. And then what you want to do with the stone is actually go from the fingertips, sweeping it into that portal, because that's actually how the drainage happens, right? And that's why we get swelling, is because it's kind of stagnant and pooling in the hand. So you want to go from the fingertips all the way down. And again, the diagram has the instructions on that. And working your way around the hand, it literally is a fairly fast process to be able to do. I prefer having people do that with the lotion, because the lotion helps for slip, because we're going, yes, that one, because we're going very, very gentle.
Just a second. This lotion is so lipophilic, meaning it has wonderful, you can feel the essential oils rubbing into your skin. And as an older person, it's like, oh my God, I was so dry. And now I get this delicious thing, the cream that you put on your body. It feels very pure.
It's definitely one of the favorites, but also I do that. I imprint in a little green bead.
Oh yeah, this is the secret, ladies.
Yeah, it's the secret sauce is in the little green bead and the magic stone. So I imprint frequencies as well for reparative in the little green bead that goes in every jar. So whether it's a face cream or the body, it goes in every single jar. And what that does is it energy optimizes the active ingredients as well as how they synergistically work together. So if you're putting the lotion on and then using the stone, you're really amplifying, if you will, the potential. So, and it's got great slip so that you're not dragging your skin, because the lymphatic system is very superficial. This does not need to be hard at all.
Listen to that. You don't need to press really hard.
Right.
You think, oh, I'm going to give myself a massage, and you press hard. It doesn't have to be hard pressure.
No, absolutely not. And so a nice gentle flow on the body. And the second part of the protocol on the upper part is also moving the lymphatics, on the upper chest, as well as the lower part of the breast and from the center, and then up the side as well.
So if you've had a mastectomy and you have scars, how do they handle that? Or if you have reconstruction, what do you recommend women do?
Right. So it is very gentle. I'm suggesting that you still are going to use the stone. And that's why I love the shape of it. Some areas are going to fit better with the curve, and some areas are going to fit better with the round part. And then some areas when we want to get like into like the lymphatic portals where we're doing we might use the tip. So
so if you have a scar, I think you could just put the cream on it and just gently, just very gently. I mean, you will not hurt your scar, and you will not hurt yourself if you gently go from the inside out, aiming towards the armpit.
Right. And like you said, congestion is a big part of it. Well, scars create huge amount of congestion, physically, because it's not just an outside incision, it's an inside incision. So the fascia is bunched up, everything is affected by that. So being able to actually do something like this will help ease any pulling, any tightness, all of the things that are, from twisting and having that congested area. So what I find is that people say that they like, for example, I have one woman who, she was fine as long as she kept her arm down, but when she moved her arm up, she could feel everything pulling. So she was using the stone and she had way increase in mobility with no pain, no pull. And that, it just created ease. And so taking into consideration that in addition to that being more comfortable means that it's healthier as well. That area is healthier.
So I just want to reiterate that if you're having, like, you can't move your arms because you had surgery and now you have all the scar tissue. And I know many of you suffer like this in silence. First of all, you need to tell your doctor you want to go to physical therapy. Second of all, you want to see if acupuncture is covered or offered in your oncology center. A lot of them have that. Third of all, you want to ask for lymphatic therapy appointments. And at the top of the list, I think that you need this.
Yeah, daily care.
Yeah. Now, I need to put, how do women find you here so they can purchase this wonderful?
Okay.
Do you have the ability to put a note here in this?
I am not sure. Comments. So I can see the comments, but I can't add a comment.
Okay. Do you want to just send me an email to which email do you want to use? Sorry, ladies, that we didn't figure this out beforehand.
Yeah, and actually, what I have is I have a special for the women who you work with. So okay. I want to make sure that
I'm going to post that.
Okay.
Separately in a big announcement on my Facebook page and my Facebook group. Yeah. And you will get that. So I'll put a picture of Cathy or her products with the link, and you will get that special pricing.
Right. Exactly. I think that's, you and I have
and I'm sending out an email to the community also.
Okay,
so we want to make sure that everybody gets it, in the Facebook page, the Facebook group, and through my email list.
Yeah. They'll need to make sure they use that link to go to the page that has even more information, as well as your discount for that.
Okay. Y'all but now I want to talk about, listen, I've been using these products. We have the facial scrub, which is unbelievable. We have the daytime treatment. Oh, I'm glad that you like this. And we have restorative nurturing for the night. And this with my skin has changed in like 2 weeks. I'm a different person. And the magic wand on my face, I'm old. I need all the support, uplifting I can get. So, everybody tell people, and they have these magic little dots in them too, right?
Yeah, the little green bead. Yeah. that little green pearl. So that was the one that I had originally developed, was the natural facelift system. And I did that because I had been probably, I guess when I was about 49, I thought I was feeling pretty good. And then I just caught myself in a mirror at one point when I was walking, or I think I was at a friend's office. And I went, who the heck is that? Oh my gosh. I almost never really realized how aged I looked. And I was only 49. So I had
That
realized
seems
just
like a
from,
long time ago to me. So
I know, 62 to 49 to say, yeah, it was a while ago for me. Yeah, too. So, but what had happened was that I was doing all of the right things as far as the acupuncture and the treatments and the emotional treatments and things like that. But because our face really tends to hold on to our stresses and traumas, because the muscles in the face are very different than the muscles in the arm or everywhere else in the body. So our lines of expression, as they say, the lines of expression were really kind of holding on. So so
I like
at
that
that,
phrase, lines of expression. That's a good
yes.
phrase.
Yes, exactly, right? So I kind of went to work and just seeing what was out there, what I was doing, because I would have never have gone out without makeup on at 49 ever. And I actually wear either no makeup or significantly less makeup at 62 than I did at 49. I would have never gone out of my house without makeup. So, and in fact, I was just saying to Dr. Carol, oh, I didn't know this was video. So I'm like not even camera ready here.
Well,
So,
that's pretty great to me. I mean, looks pretty good to me.
thank you. So try to be a product of the product, right? I use it every day. So I could not find anything that was truly all natural, that delivered the promise that it had, and also really just nurtured my skin the way it should. Like as practitioners, when we do nutrition or herbs, it's about giving your body the information that it needs, or functional nutrition, so that it can do what it needs to do and relearn. It's like acupuncture, it's like nutrition, it's like herbs. If I give somebody something that they're missing and I just kind of dump it in, their body never really learns how to assimilate it and actually, if it's possible, to produce it itself. So when I went through the skincare, what was valuable to me were a few things. One is that the ingredients were clean. Absolutely had to be clean. So they're all natural, but truly all natural, not FDA all natural. Everything is made
FDA all
from nature.
natural is not anything. You don't,
No,
that's not the standard of care. It's not
no.
the standard of everything, anything, ladies. It's
Right, right, right. So truly natural, made from the earth, every ingredient. And then and also active ingredients that were at a percentage that delivered. That's the real trick with skincare is that they'll tell you that it has an ingredient in it, but it has like a 0.001% of the ingredient and it has no effect. So the claim is very useless, essentially.
really,
Right. So that was the first thing is the ingredient itself. The second is that again, going back to, I wanted to use ingredients that teach the body how to. So one is being clean. Two is that I'm giving the body nutrients to learn how to develop collagen, to learn how to develop the elastin, to learn how to detox. So what I realized is I was going to also have to add the energy component in it so that the body could figure that out too. So then the protocol, with the wand and putting that all together, came from my sister was in Manhattan at the time, and she was doing facelifts with acupuncture and with like all of this equipment. Well, it cost $350 to get one treatment. You needed a series of 10, and then you needed maintenance. You're already at $3,500 plus your maintenance every month.
and you have to go someplace to do it.
Yes, exactly. If you're lucky enough to have someone even in the area, right?
Right.
Right. So I went, again, it's about putting the tools in people's hands so that they can do them at home. So when I developed the protocol and I developed the skincare line, I wanted to make sure that in my hands, it was working great. I wanted to make sure that in everybody else's hands, it did as well. So I did a third party study with Dr. Pugliese, who's the big, a really big muckety muck in the world of high-end skincare. He's the one everybody goes to have claims so that their claims have validity. Well, after 15 days of Dr. Pugliese doing this protocol, or, having these women do this protocol, he called me and he said, I don't know how you're getting these results. These women look like they've had mini makeovers. So I was like, great. So even if people aren't doing it perfectly, it still works. So I was really excited about that. And with the 30 days, women were getting 25% increase in collagen. Well, collagen doesn't start to produce for 45 days when you bring, intervention in, and they were already at 25% at 30 days.
That's
so
great.
Yeah, I was super excited
That's
about
amazing.
that, ready to go public at that point too. So that's how that was developed.
And collagen is not necessarily something, as a person who's had acupuncturists, that you want to take a lot of, because there is the idea that it can, if it feeds the skin and it feeds certain cells, it can be feeding cells that you don't want it to be feeding. So we don't necessarily want to take collagen. We want to take precursors to collagen. And the fact that this system builds collagen is even better. So that's
Right.
very exciting. And I want to go back to this wand thing. It's just amazing. You put the cream on your face, and then there is this book as well as the video, and it shows you
Yes.
how to do it. So
Right.
Cathy has really gone out of her way to make clear and make sure that you have the tools that you need to take care of yourself and make a difference. So you don't need to go. Nobody lives in New York these days. I mean, I have people who are in the middle of Minnesota and Iowa, 35 miles from anything. But here you have this in your home, and you have this great magic stone. I don't know where I put it.
Here's one.
Yes, there she is.
Yeah.
It's phenomenal. So I especially if you've had surgery, I've seen women's scars, and they look angry and they look upset. So putting some love into the scars with the cream and gently doing this beautiful stone on them and sending healing thoughts and energy, that's going to go a long way to change how you feel in your body. Because if you think, oh, it's ugly, I don't want to look at it, that's a level of self-negativity and inflammation that you're giving yourself. You want to gradually change that. And unfortunately, there are scars. Sometimes they're not the best. And I wish that the doctors would be more aware of that when they're doing surgery on a woman's body. Maybe there needs to be a plastic surgeon involved, but I want to encourage you, if you have difficult scars. Notice I didn't say the word bad, because they're not bad. They're difficult. They're stuck energy. This magic stone and this cream can make a really big difference over a period of time in shifting how they feel, how they look, and how you think and feel about them. And that's the most important component, right?
I agree with that 100%. And you know what else, Carol, I've never mentioned before is that the stone and the wand have self-love affirmations as well.
Self-love is really what it's about for all of us, right? How we talk to ourselves.
That's right. What we see when we look in the mirror.
Yeah, right. Oh, my stomach, it's too flabby.
Yeah. And what happens is that when we look in the mirror, the energy that we get from that is the energy we go out into the world with. So if you look in the mirror and go, I look tired, I look old, I look, whatever, if it's a judgy, not negative, then we go out into the world on that. And that's the energy we put out, and it's the energy that we get back. So what I've definitely found in even just doing, like even with the face lift protocol is that, like I was saying, I wear no makeup most of the time. So, for me to be able to look in the mirror and go, I don't need makeup is huge, and still feel good about walking out, or if a woman looks in the mirror and goes, oh, I don't look tired, or not, they're not even thinking that. They go, great, welcome to the world this morning, and then they go out into the world with all of this love, with all of this self-love, and that's what they get back as well. I mean, everybody's noticed that, right? When you go out to the grocery store.
Yeah.
That's right. You go out to the grocery store and you say hi to the, right. I I feel like in the last 10 years, people smile at me when I'm at the grocery store, which, if I were feeling yucky, that would not happen, you know?
Well, when you walk into a location and you have energy, you can look at the tellers and you can see that they're not having a great day.
Yes, that
And
can
you can just
happen.
give them a little
That's
energy
right.
and a little positive love because you have enough yourself.
Yes.
You go, oh, hi, so and so, how you doing
Yeah.
today? You look great. I mean, even if they look tired, you can tell them they look great, and that gives them a little boost. But you
Yeah.
have to have that inside of yourself. And coming back to the stone, I mean, when you move your energy, you change how you feel, and it feels wonderful in your hands.
Yeah, it actually is really nice. It's made from a Beyond Stone, which has a lot of minerals in it, and some of them actually even have lines in them like this or
Yes.
through. Yeah, and so that those are the minerals on the surface. But it's made from traditionally the Beyond Stone was known for its therapeutic properties. Far infrared and things that are just healing.
So, Joni, thank you for asking this question. Joni asked, is it necessary to cleanse lymphatic system 3.5 years out? Absolutely. Three and a
Yes.
half, 10 years, 15 years. I've had women 10 years come back with difficult scars and stuck lymphatics. And, you do acupuncture, you do this stone thing on your body. And yes, there's no time limit for healing, right?
No, there is no time limit for healing ever. And the thing is too is that even if you haven't had surgery, even if you haven't some history that's, created some challenges, if if we have breast tissue, it needs lymphatic drainage. If we have fat, it needs lymphatic drainage. If we have fascia, it needs lymphatic drainage. So we're exposed to toxins all the time. We're exposed to toxins from our outside environment as well as from our inside environment, because just processing uh, causes, like, if just cell detox is creates toxins. So we always need to pay attention to lymphatic detox, to lymphatic drainage, to supporting the lymphatic system to be able to do its job. You
Absolutely.
know, the other is that if I were to just kind of talk about, some signs and symptoms of congested lymphatic system.
Yeah, right. Go right ahead.
Yeah. So one that a lot of people don't think about is that if you drink water and you go, oh, I don't drink water because it goes right through me. So, someone says you need to detox, you need to drink plenty of water, you need to hydrate, and you think, well, I don't drink water because it goes right through me. That is an indication of the lymphatic system being congested, so that it's not even going through the system, it's just going in and out the system. So that's one that a lot of people don't know. And then the obvious is not just swelling in hands and fingers, but swelling in feet, feeling of stiff and soreness, whether it's just in the hands or the joints or the feet, cold hands and feet, brain fog, like that, even fatigue, depression. Weakened immunity is an indication of lymphatic system being congested. And then, of course, the enlarged lymph nodes, which are not just the ones, on the upper body, but on the lower body as well. Even allergies are an indication of the lymphatic system,
Absolutely.
right? So unexplained injuries and illness, constipation, even negative thoughts and behaviors,
Yeah.
sometimes it's just due to toxic overload. Belly bloating, excess weight, digestive issues, itchy skin, sinus infections, increased colds and flu. I mean, the list goes on and on and on.
So, a lot of the symptoms, I'm writing notes as you, and I have to look it back and forth at the screen, excuse me. But
No
I
worries.
want to just say that whatever Cathy just said, especially the brain fog, the fatigue, the pain, these are all signs of what happens after a woman goes through breast cancer treatment. And breast cancer treatment creates an enormous amount of oxidative stress, and that creates inflammation, and that creates lymphatic stagnation. So absolutely, the whole thing that we do as acupuncturists is help remove that debris, but you can get one of these stones and do it at home. You can do it on your belly, even if you don't have scars there. There's no, you can do it anywhere. And it feels wonderful in your hands. And you can do it and be sending nice, positive, healing thoughts to your body and make a huge difference.
There is a side effect to this, which is which is actually a bonus side effect, which is that you're also reshaping because when you get rid of the buildup of toxins around the muscles are reshape.
Okay,
So I've
I'll
definitely
be shaping. I need to be shaping. Sign me up.
I need to be, who doesn't need to be shaping, right? In fact, I've actually even had women who they'll write in and say, my husband noticed that my calves were more defined, or I noticed that my backside was back where it used to be, things like that. That's an added benefit. I'm all about looking great, feeling great for sure, but health is so valuable. So if you can get both in the same with the same treatment, that's even better.
So I'm going to, just to reiterate, ladies, I'm going to make a post. It's going to go on the Facebook page, the Facebook group. We're going to have some photo of Cathy or her products. There'll be a special link, which will take you to her page, which provides the discount that she's kind enough to give to my community. And I'm sending an email out to thousands of women on my list. So there's lots of opportunity for you to take advantage of this special offer, this special discount, and this fantastic product. And I hope everybody seizes the moment. And, the holidays are coming up. Any second, you're going to be inundated. So when you think about how you're spending your money on the holidays, nobody needs a new pair of pajamas or another nightgown. And if you're welcome, Elizabeth. If you have a chronic disease, breast cancer is a chronic disease, ladies. This is the opportunity to take your money where it's going to give you the most long-term benefit. Do not spend your budget on buying junk for yourself or anyone else. Spend your money on buying health. That's my little plug, because, it's worth it. And this stone doesn't go away. It's not like, it's here for you forever to use all the time.
It doesn't wear out.
No. And this cream lasts forever. I mean, it's a big bottle and you don't need a lot of it. It's like several months. So it's really wonderful. Okay, Elizabeth, thank you for your comment. Cathy, thank you for being here and taking time out of your busy day. And this is Carol Lourie. There'll be more later, and you will get the posting probably later today or tomorrow, and with everything that you need. Thank you, Cathy. Bye for now.
Thank you for having me. All right. Bye-bye.